Start.
Hi everyone, I am Anjan and welcome to Nose. So in today's episode we will deep dive into and find out whether why many startups are failing in India and despite this fact, why only few startups are surviving and getting huge profits in Indian segment, right? Okay, so today we are going to discuss about a startup called astrotalks and why this startup is quite famous in India, we will see in this video. Because according to a recent study, they found out that 90% of startups that are launching in India are unable to survive in Indian market after 5 years of their operation. So, but the case with this startup that we are going to discuss is different because this startup was started way before in 2017 and till date, that is in 2023 also, it crossed across 6 years, right? So it is sustaining, and when you see its profit margins we will know how important this startup is operating. So when we see last year's financial report of this company, so out of the 282 crores it got as a revenue, it has it has managed to hold 27 crores in his hands. But this is not a big deal for a startup. What exactly is a big deal is, so it is managed to hold this money with less funding. So in the last financial year, they invested only 6.82 crores and they had got 27 crores as a profit margin. So this is a big deal for any startup that is running in India, despite the fact that many educational startups are eventually failing, like Byju's for instance, and its founders also unable to make funding, and its founder basically sold his house for funding. So this was the case in Indian segment, right? So in today's video, we will understand the core business principle of why this astrotalks is able to survive and eventually get profits in Indian market. So to understand it better, we'll first see the basic principle in business too. So in any business, despite the location or the geographical location, only one thing every business follows, that is, if you want to sell a product, you can't sell people what they actually need, but you can sell people what they actually want. And in this case, astrotalk used a tool called hope, and it sold hope for the people, and it is now also selling the people the hope. So what exactly this hope? See, well, we all remember Corona days, right? Those were the worst days that a human or the Indians witnessed, right? Many people have lost their lives, and despite the fact that many also lost their jobs. And in this time, this Astro Talks made an opportunity of selling hope for the people, the hope for getting happier life, the hope for surviving in those bad days, right? So Astro Talks become a bridge between consumer and these Astro Talks experts, astrology experts, and it is basically became a consultancy service between consumers and the other people who visited it. So, well, you might ask me, well, those were the days are gone. Corona is not now, but in these days, also India is witnessing one of the major problem, which is far worse than the Corona crisis, and that is loneliness. And India is on the third position after Brazil and Turkey in having this problem called loneliness. And now this astrotalks using its AI on all its algorithm to make people addictive to communicate. Basically, Ankit, do you remember our sir also mentioned a story that in which a patient used to visit a doctor by paying money, and despite that she is not even having any problem, but she is only having a problem called loneliness, and to cure it she is paying money, right? So in this scenario, many Indians are facing something called loneliness, and to tackle it, they are paying money to astrology experts and to merely communicate with them. So that's how this astrotalks is winning. So, but you may again ask why this astrology or this pseudosciences, we call this as pseudosciences because that are not proved theoretically. Well, there are sciences So, well, you also heard about pseudosciences, right? So, this astrology is a part of pseudosciences, and many people have no scientific evidence to it. So, you might ask why people are spending money on a thing which is not being evidently proved by science, right? So, in simple words, people need instant results. So that's why many of our classmates do play these betting games when they got free time, right? So that is the reason. That's why only betting and this pseudoscience activities like this astrology and quite famous sexuality contents are also being made viral in many of the countries, right? So people just need instant results because they are not hidden, in which they can be seen to everyone. So that's all. And this is not so-called ethical business, in which many companies like Apple do something called ethical business, in which they sell products that people want and they can eventually use them. So we should avoid this business, but these are being quite famous in Indian segment. So that's all from my side, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.